Hey everybody, we're going to go over some basic calculator functions that you'll be using very often in class. So the first thing that we want to teach you is how to type in a fraction. Now, a fraction, we're going to go to this math button here. It's the third one on the left-hand side. We're going to click math, and you'll see there's lots of controls in this window. We're wanting to type in a fraction, and so in this main tabs at the top, we're going to scroll over to the word frac. We're going to go over to frac for fraction. And you'll see this first option is in the form numerator over denominator. That's the one that we want. So I'm going to hit enter. And this is where you get to type in what you want for your numerator, for example, 2. And then I can go over and type in the denominator, 3, for the fraction 2/3. That's how you would type in a fraction. Now, sometimes we need to convert a fraction to a decimal. So this time I'm going to click on math. I'm going to come over and I'm going to type in my fraction. Let's do 5/3 this time. So 5 is the numerator, 3 is the denominator. And now I'm going to click my right arrow to get out of my fraction. Well, I can go back to that math menu and you'll see this is an option to change to a fraction. If I have a decimal that I need to change to a fraction, that will do it in simplest form. But right now, I have a fraction that I need to change to a decimal. So this little triangle means change to. So I'm going to scroll down. I want to change my fraction to a decimal. And I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm saying I want to change 5/3 to a decimal. And I'm going to hit enter. And there we go. There's the decimal form of 5/3. The next thing I want to teach you is where the squared and square root button is. So over here on the left-hand side, I have an x squared. How we would utilize that, if I wanted to do 5 squared, I would type in the 5 first, and then I would click this x squared button, and that would give me an exponent of 2. Sometimes we need to take the square root of a number. To take the square root, we have to have the radical first. So, do you see on this x squared button how there's a square root symbol in the top left-hand corner? Well, it's blue. So we need to hit the blue second button first, and then we hit the x squared, and that's how we get that radical. Now, I need the square root of 25. It is always best practice to hit our right arrow when we're done typing in our number to get out from under the radical, just in case we were to do something else with this number after. So the square root of 25, I hit enter, and looky there, it is 5. Next, I want to show you how to type in a negative number. Down here at the very bottom of your calculator, there's a negative sign in parentheses. Now this is really important because the negative is different than a subtraction sign. Do you see how they look different? Anytime you have a negative number, you have to use the negative in parentheses. For example, -5. Next, you don't always have to clear whenever you're typing. For example, if I was doing 32 plus 68 minus 47, but oops, I just realized it was supposed to be minus 45. I don't have to clear and start over. I can just scroll to the number that needs to be corrected and type over it. Also, if I realized I need to change something earlier, I can just do second enter. It'll give me the same thing I typed in before, and that way I can scroll over and change that as well. Now this works, you can hit second enter, usually, and that way you can go more than just your previous entry. As we used the square root, you notice it's blue, so we use the blue button. That will work for any of those blue commands on your calculator. The last thing that I want to go over is the difference between our top buttons and our bottom buttons. These top gray buttons are our graphing buttons. Everything else is our calculation buttons, and we'll get more into that as the year progresses. So these were just some calculator basics that you'll need to know. Just reach out to your math teacher if you're needing more help.